Normally, when we are covering a rally, we are ready to eat dust, get hit by flying pieces of gravel, and wade through water crossings to get you all the action. Today, there's none of that. Because today, there's only this. This and very high speeds. I'm somewhere inside the first leg of India's only tarmac rally, the Rally of Maharashtra. It is also the season opener of the 2014 Indian Rally Championship. Tarmac is not really the habitat of the rally car. It is in fact alien territory. But the thing with territory is that it must be conquered. And so each year since the past 17 years, the tarmac roads around the quaint city of Nasik have played host to Indian rallying's finest as they battle for the national championship title.
The infrastructure in this part of the country is developing so fast that if I choose a gravel road today, I am sure it will become tarmac within next 2 years. As an organizer, to find out a new terrain is very easy, but to maintain it, to make people aware on those streets that rally is this, it is an adventure sport, that takes a lot of time for us. So when we choose tarmac, only chance for us to stop those stages is if the surface becomes bad. So we definitely choose tarmac. I love tarmac because surface is challenging. It is one of the fastest rally in the country as well because being a tarmac.
Nasik stages have always been very technical and driver oriented, but you need a car also which handles well over fast tarmac, and so I think that is something we have. We'll just have to see how the setup works for us here. And if it rains, it's just going to be, you have to you concentrate even more, and rain obviously makes it more trickier.
The championship no longer remains just national though. What used to be the Indian National Rally Championship has now been rechristened to just the Indian Rally Championship. The change in nomenclature, small as it may seem, is however a sign of things to come.
A foreign national from Asia zone allowed to participate in Indian Rally Championship. The advantage is now you can compete with the foreigners. You can compete yourself, you can judge yourself, where do you stand with the other drivers.
This is something which is very common abroad in the other national championships around the world, in European countries and even in Japan, Australia, New Zealand. It basically means that your championship is open for foreign competitors, so they can come in and win the championship as well.
This is where actually you get to rate yourself without going to the international rallies, because in your hometown you are getting foreign drivers who are going to show their skills, and also the Indian drivers can show their skills if they are capable enough to beat the foreign drivers.
The change in name did not mean that the format of the championship was changed. The IRC also continued the practice of the Super Special Stage, also known as the Triple S. The Triple S of the Rally of Maharashtra took place at the Dada Saheb Phalke Smarak in the heart of Nasik. And the townsfolk turned up in huge numbers to see the rally cars tear over the tarmac.
Very technical stage, really technical. The crowd here is a real big fan of rallying. You see around 7,000-8,000 people turn out there, which is massive for us as Nasikites to see so many people. We started from last year that the concept of power stage of WRC implemented in Super Special Stage. And yesterday, actually on the day for yesterday when we ran Triple S, we had to literally ask security guards to come and escort Gaurav Gill and Samir Thapar because they were leading, they were there standing giving autographs, photographs, which make it very spectator friendly.
And the rally drivers did not disappoint. Putting up a splendid driving display, the drivers showed the goodly crowd that rallying was not for the faint of heart. Samir Thapar's Mitsubishi Evo 10 took top honours at the Triple S, And that beast of an engine left the bulky XUVs and the wily Polos behind when it came to the 2 kilometers of the super special stage.
Good, we were quickest. We just drove safe, it was fine. No big deal, you know. I mean, Triple S was fun. It was very short and very quick.
After the crowd pulling of the Triple S, it was time to get down to the real deal. The Rally of Maharashtra ran 3 legs this year, divided into 3 special stages. The first stage was the Manhere stage, that is mostly 12.4 kilometers of hairpins and a winding tarmac road.
First stage is like a semi-mountains kind of a thing. You climb, you go down, then you come to a valley sort of a thing, and then again you climb up. So it has a mixture of crests where you have to be very spot on your pace notes, especially during recce. If you've made good pace notes, then there's nothing to worry about. But one wrong pace note and it can take you out really bad.
The second stage of the Rally of Maharashtra was the windmill stage. The stage was 16.94 kilometers of tarmac track running through a wind farm. The rally cars, however, were clocking upwards of 150 kilometers as they wound their way between the windmills. The third stage was the Sangvi stage, which at 6.8 kilometers was the shortest stage of the rally. The stage by itself was very technical and the rally cars had a tough task ahead of them as they tried to stay on the road while navigating through the tricky ghat sections.
The third stage, the shortest stage, yes, there were a lot of high-speed corners, good cornering, so we enjoyed it. But it was also technical as it was all the downhill.
As leg 1 began and the drivers lined up, the grid was filled with the country's best rallying talent. The reigning APRC champion, the defending national champion, a 7-time Desert Storm champ, and a bunch of other motorheads who had been on the inside of a rally car more than the advisable limit, and definitely more than was wise.
Good technical stages. Your pace notes have to be spot on. And we had a good run yesterday. We checked our notes. All seems to be fine. And hopefully we'll do well.
When we recce'd, it wasn't raining, so it changes the whole dynamics of the roads. But the roads are very nice, smooth, very fast-flowing stages. A couple of places have to be careful.
If you have an off, you're probably off the mountain or into the trees. There's no coming back because the speeds are so high.
Amit Rajit Ghosh, the defending national champion, was the first to take start, despite being awarded competition number 2. He hit the stages with a vengeance, and as his super XUV passed our cameras, it looked like he knew that the cars coming in from behind were being driven by guys who did not really take too kindly to starting anywhere but on number 1.
At the end of it, you're going to push as much as you can, but it's always been my thing that you have to push to your limit, and if someone's gone quicker than you, there's nothing more you can do. So it's always that you do your best. That's what we are going to do. Need to get some, get some miles under with the car and get to understand what it does and what it does not.
The cars came out of the first leg fairly shaken up. Teething issues had cropped up, but now 3 stages later, they had been left behind and would no longer prove useful as an excuse. The engines and tires had been bedded in, the drivers and navigators were back in their groove, and now the only thing in their sights was the road to the podium of the Rally of Maharashtra. Welcome back. We are inside Special Stage 6 of the Rally of Maharashtra. Defending APRC champion Gaurav Gill leads the pack, and hot on his heels is 2013's INRC champion Amit Rajit Ghosh. Bairam Godrej is running in 3rd place. The all-powerful XUVs have been pitted against the wily Polos, and somewhere in the picture are the Cedias and the Balenos. There is also an Evo 10. The high speeds on tarmac add a shot of adrenaline to the proceedings. Leg 2 should be interesting. Gaurav Gill showed absolute class and sped over the tarmac to post scorching times to take the lead in leg 1. Amit Rajit Ghosh had an uphill task. Because once an APRC champion snatches the lead away from you, it's not very easy to get it back. Leg 2 began with a palpable nervousness in the air. The stage was set for a high-speed battle between the boys. In leg 1, all the cautions and misgivings had been put to rest. And the second time around, it was time to throw all that to the wind and go flat out. One other thing that had happened in leg 1 was that the cars cutting corners had dug up a lot of dirt and rocks which were skewed all over the tarmac. Not very ideal.
It makes a big difference because our pace note doesn't really mark all the rumbles and the stones. So the driver has to be very, very cautious. The co-driver has to be alert before calling the corner. Even if it is a 6-right flat, we need to call him 6-right slippery maybe, because people would have bought some dirt into the road.
Well, in our notes we've got cut here, cut here, cut here. But now it's everywhere. It's like the cut and the road is almost the same. There's a lot of the tight corners. There's stones across the road. So you just got to deal with it. There's nothing really you can do about it. If I were driving an XUV, I would drive it like that. That's the fastest way to drive the XUV.
Unseen rocks around corners. That's I mean, it's almost a nightmare. I'm sure I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight. It was crazy. Especially because there were only 2 XUVs in front of me today. So I had to take all those rocks. Normally 1 or 2 other cars go, they hit the rocks. But I had to hit the rocks and keep my position. So it was quite tough.
The end of leg 2 brought with it news of Gaurav Gill being slapped on with a penalty at the start of the stages. And Amit Ghosh had capitalized and taken the lead. Unexpected as it was, it surprised no one. Motorsport is unforgiving, and the price paid for mistakes in a competitive stage is always steep. Gill damaged his car in the first leg and his service team failed to do the patchwork on time. The end result was a time penalty which cost the veteran driver his lead.
I had a bit of a moment in the long stage where we clipped a rock and I bent the rear wheel a tiny bit, and we had to come in and change that. So we came in and it was just an arm and a link rod which was supposed to be changed, but that routine service had some technical issues, and the boys had a problem with some of the parts coming out of the car, and they were, I guess, were badly stuck in some of the joints, and we lost over 10 minutes coming out of the service, so we had a 10-minute penalty.
First 3 stages we were really close, 16 seconds separating us. After stage 1 we were only 4 seconds apart, so we were all pushing. So I think he touched a stone or something on SS2 or 3, I think mostly 2. So that had bent his rear left suspension. So that needed to be repaired completely, so he lost 10 minutes here at service. So out of service we had a 1.5 minute lead.
As we were coming in for the start of this stage, we noticed there are several places where the cars have dug up stones and other goodies which now lie all over the tarmac. Things are going to get interesting and the plot thickens. Leg 3 was going to be the decider. Gill was not one to take kindly to the loss of his lead. Ghosh, with close to a minute's lead, was not one to let go of it unless hell's fury rained down upon him. Things were poised to go down to the wire. The fight was going to be tough. And for those of us cheering from the sidelines, it was going to be fun. One other thing to take note of was the car running in third place. Bairam Godrej's 1600cc Polo, which he was driving in the 2000cc category, had not just left the CDRs behind. He was running third overall. And even Samir Thapar's Evo 10 could not beat the little Polo. The Volk had shined indeed. And that in itself was a laudable feat.
Some of the uphill sectors have been very, very rough because the bigger vehicles, the XUVs, go over that before us. They just dig out all the stones from the corner and put them on the road. Very difficult for us because our cars are small and low. The fast sections also, where the crests are very big, we can't really look over the crest. They can look over the crest because they're sitting 1.5 feet taller than us. So yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's been good.
Gill, livid with his unfortunate loss of lead, was out for blood. For him, it was the top step or nothing. But he was not throwing his car around like mortals do. This was the reigning APRC champion. And there was a finesse to Gill's driving in leg 3. A finesse that showed us why he did what he did. Ghosh had his lead. All he needed to do was bring it home. There was no need for recklessness. But then Murphy's Law has a strange way of creeping up on people. And it creeps up at the most inappropriate moments. What happened in leg 3 to Ghosh's XUV was one such occasion.
We didn't think that this would happen to us, but anyway, this is what I say it's rally, because we never thought that such a thing will happen, because we are not really pushing too hard. But then it took us by surprise. We were probably carrying a little bit more speed into that corner, came into the left-hander, caught the rut on my side, and we went on to the stone on the right side and we hit the rear wheel. We thought we would not finish the stage, but then I was telling Amit, let's go till the finish and we'll see how it goes from there.
A very eventful day. I think we had to return the favour to Gaurav and we did it in style. Bend the rear right, completely out of shape, and also a puncture in stage 1. Lost a minute there and he went into the lead, and from then on it was just cruising back to somehow to go through the stages. We'll have to see, but I think we had enough lead to still be in second, I think.
The cutting of throats and salvaging of pride, however, is limited to the competitive stages. Outside of the rally cars, there's a completely different scenario. These drivers have been trying to outdo one another for many years now. And in all those years, there has been a bond forged. A bond of mutual respect, camaraderie, and the love for the madness of rallying. The presentation ceremony of the Rally of Maharashtra took place at the Gateway Hotel in Nasik. First up was the 1600cc Cup. Third place was taken by Parag and Aditya Divakar. Adit KC and Harish KN came in second place, and the 1600cc Cup was bagged by Anirudh Ranganekar and Arjun Mehta.
We had a bad spin and we lost about 40 seconds. And on the next stage also we were struggling a little with the car. It was not handling as well. So we lost quite a lot of time and he caught up to within 10 seconds of us. But on the final stage we pushed and we made 5 seconds on him and we won the rally by over 10 seconds.
Next up was the 1600cc category. Dhruva C and B Rupesh came in third. The duo of Shirish Chandran and Nikhil Pai came in second. The winners of the 1600cc category were Rishikesh Thakurse and Ninad Miraj Gaonkar, also in a team slideways polo.
A couple of years since I won my class, so it's the first time it was a competitive category, so it feels very good.
Been around in Nasik more than a couple of times and it's the first time that I'm here on podium, so it feels really nice.
Sumit Punjabi and Vinu Ramesh Kumar Sidya was third in the 2000cc category. In second place was the team of Vivek Bhatt and rally veteran Rahul Kantaraj, also in a Sidya. The surprise package was the 1600cc slideways polo manned by Bairam Godrej and Anand Somaya, beating the all-powerful Sidyas.
Great. It feels great, but we've been pushing from the word go. We've not eased up, and this is, like I said, our first rally together. So there's been a lot of getting used to the calls, making the calls, me understanding the stuff, but it's been very good.
Godrej and Somaya were also third overall and had gained bragging rights for having beaten a Mitsubishi Evo 10 amongst other things. Second overall was the Super XUV of Amitrajit Ghosh and Ashwin Nayak. And their teammates Gaurav Gill and Musha Serif bagged top honours at the Rally of Maharashtra.
We started the stage behind Ghosh. Unfortunately, he picked up damage at the end of the stage and we made about almost 57 seconds on him. And the difference was about 50 odd seconds. So we were in the lead right from there on. We just, just cruised because we knew he picked up a problem and he was limping through the stages because there was no service. So naturally, we wanted to have no dramas and just finish the rally while we were in the lead.
And that brings us to the end of a rally full of surprises and hard fights. We wouldn't have it any other way because that, at its very essence, is the nature of motorsport. After the tarmac of the Rally of Maharashtra, next up is the gravel of the Rally of Coimbatore. We'll be there in the thick of all the action, and with us, so will you.